trying to be.
Lovely. Hello, this is Shannon. He's learning, and today we're doing the session plan for insolvency, and it's called rescheduling. Alright, so I'm going to show you what we're doing. So this is, as you know, insolvency queue. What we're going to go over today is the follow-up. So once we've done all the other stuff, we're going to have to monitor any outcomes. So I'm going to open up a few of the accounts. I'll tell you what I've just done in a moment. You can see all right? See what I'm doing?
I'm partially blind.
You are not partially blind.
I swear I am. Like, it's getting worse.
Like you need glasses?
Yeah, I may do. I'm trying not to get glasses, but
You should get your eyes tested. Just start doing it if you can see one fuzzy thing.
no, when I was younger, like, because my whole family wears glasses, everyone.
Okay.
And then I was like, I don't need to have glasses, I have 20/20, and I'm getting older and I realize I need it.
Alright, so what I've done there, I'll open up a few more and break down and see what I've done. So open up a handful, and when I first go into the notes section, I'm identifying what the actual outcome is. There's only going to be about 3 outcomes. So there's pushing out the dates because we're waiting for dividends, or we're going to be sending an email to a third party, and that's either to confirm or update the bank details, or we're emailing the third party, and that can be via phone or email, following up on the LOAs, or sometimes insolvency dates, so like the approved or the start date doesn't come through to us, so we just follow up on that as well. So with these ones, go into the notes section, and it's always good when you open up a few of them, if you can see that all of them need the same thing. It means you can maybe bulk email, Fox sign someone like that. So this one, you can read from the note, the part 9 has been accepted, we've got the assessment number, and so this is when we might update the bank details and then push it out. This is responding to an LOA, and this is actually the same one as the first one, so it's been accepted. So with these two, we would go into your emails, and we'll just go to the Fox signs, update, 19, please ensure, and spell it right, always good, update your file. For future dividends. It's always good as well to identify that's a cash strain debt, just because of that confusion with the old cash strain first up money.
I've had it with money too as well, so.
It does happen. If any of the dividends ever come through to money free, we get alerted and they just get swapped over. Alright, so with this, so usually you'd put the name, insolvency number and reference in the top. We're just going to put it down here instead, but I'm going to chuck it in this section just so we don't have the green highlight. And it's always good to put in the reference number as well, our ref, because then when the email comes back to you, you don't have to figure out what account you're talking about. Got this one, paid in winter, insolvency number, our ref. Grab those bank details from existing template, and just make sure that you leave out the reference number because they change it. And then, thank you. And then I'm going to copy that note into here. going to be retasking it. So depending on how we do, maybe 2 weeks, and that should give you enough time for them to have replied, and then you can much it out further when you know how much longer the dividends are going to come through. But you know the dividends are going to come through, so I'm going to push it out, say 2 months to any random date. That's fine.
So how long after they say accepted? You know when we get the accepted email?
Yep.
Do we normally wait for dividends?
It can be anywhere between 2 to 3 months.
Would you task it out for 3 months or would you just do it for 2?
I'll task it out for 3 months. Because for any reason, if the dividends don't end up coming through, we'll get notifications, or it will start to come up as a pattern, and we'll contact them, and they may receive the 3-month arrears notice, which you've seen before. And then it goes 3-month arrears, 6-month arrears, and then they'll actually terminate the debt agreement, and they go back into our queues. So I've reset those tasks, and this final one was responding to an LOA. So we want the creditors emailed, put at Fox Lines. We want their name in the top, our reference. And you've used those templates before where it's LOA has been responded to, so hi team, update 4. So we LOA replied to on the 15th, and we always want the date of birth in there as well, just for extra security, so they know who we're talking about. Copy and paste that into the notes. And then with these ones, it is best to set out for 2 weeks, just in case for any reason they don't reply, we have to follow up again. But as you know, they're really good. And they are a bit backlogged at the moment because they were closed down over Christmas. Alright, and that's how you do it. And so you always just push it out. So we'll always have to reset them. So depending on what it is, you might be 2 weeks, you might be a few days, you might be a few months. That's cool. Alright, so I'm going to let you drive now and have a go.
Sounds good.
I'm going to go. It's moving your delicious looking lunch.
I wish I could have finished it. Okay, so this one I'm going to need to ask for an update.
No, so they've accepted the arrangement, so we just need to update the bank details and push it out. What do the other ones say though first? So that's the same thing?
Same and same.
Same.
Okay.
That's DCS code. Oh, if you go into, see that note? The one that has the second one?
Yep, okay.
The last bit of proceedings at dc@group.com.au, that's one you can use.
And I've learned something new. Does it matter if I... It's fine.
Now, I'm going to stop you for a second. They're with different companies, each one of these. So that's with My Budget, the other one's with Fox Science, and this one's with DCS Group. So we can't bulk email them out. So you're going to have to use that template, swap out.
And do it like that for us. Cool. You said, do we need our reference in the subject as well or not?
For this one, we can, yes, because we're not, only when you bulk upload it, because you don't want them just thinking it's for one person's account.
Sure.
But when it is for one person account, it's fine.
Yep.
And we pop in the bank details.
Sure. wish there was a way to just get the bank details easier.
Well, if you have that note post-it thing that some people have,
Is that how you do it?
I don't know how to access them, so I just do it this way every time. Also, and I use the template.
Now, before I send this, am I missing it?
Let me have a look. So, hi team, please ensure the bank details for. I'd recommend putting in for this cash train account. Otherwise, they may think it's for all of cash train. Alright, and that's fine. Now, before you send it off, copy that bulk of the email.
Save it.
Yep.
And you said before we don't need to say outbound email, we just paste it straight in?
Yep.
Yeah, that looks good.
So send it off, and then open up a new email, and you can copy and paste. You can paste that bulk part into it as well. Yeah. It's alright if you put it into the subject line, and you can put it, and then you can break it down. That's why I copy into the subject line, and then I'll do it because otherwise it has that green highlight.
I'll be playing. Cool.
We've already done this account. Next one.
Would I still send it to that one though?
You can,
Just to
yeah.
a person? Yeah.
Because that email's from an official document, that comes from AFSA.
Yeah.
If at any point it needs to change, they email you back and say it's been forwarded on, or please use this one from now on, and that's fine.
Okay, everything looks good.
Everything looks good.
Oops. About to save it. Grab that.
Very good, very good. Then you can copy, do the same thing.
It is a lot easier.
Oh, stop,
doing
one
this
second. If you paste straight into there, you'll already have it without the green. Yeah.
Now, this is why you're here. Sweet.
This is just general tricks you pick up. And you'll learn. You'll get it.
One day. I remember when you first started teaching me. Scary stuff.
There's an interesting thing here.
What's up?
They've got a joint sack. You can see this in the main notes.
Yeah, I see that one there. Just open up the other one.
Nice. Don't worry, I do that all the time. And it's like, it's the wrong section.
There, how you pull it from cash train?
See that one?
And that one.
And then you'll copy and paste that into the other
Do
two
both
accounts.
notes. Now I've got a few questions.
first we're going to retask all of them.
Yeah.
So what's your questions?
Okay, generally when we look at all the notes
Yep.
that are up there, would that give us, obviously the clues as to what we're doing next?
Yes.
Just confirming. I've done a few of these, but not like this exactly. So,
That's alright.
it's good.
Sometimes there's different ways that you can do them,
Mhm.
and with this, to be honest, with what you're doing and what I have seen you do before,
Yeah.
they're all right.
Yeah.
There's only 2 or 3 ways you're going to do it. They all have the same outcome. It's fine.
Yeah. But from what I can see, there's a pattern that you do some.
There is definitely a pattern.
Yeah.
Just touching your hand randomly.
It's okay. Just affection. Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. It's detecting to make it easier so you don't go into one and then into another and then realise you could have bulk emailed one company, is to realising those patterns on how
Yeah.
you do it faster.
Yeah.
But it's just like when you work through any other queue, any other collections, you're always going to take time to develop your own patterns as well.
Okay, I'll set this one. So you said, because I asked for an update, I told them to update, should I do it for 2 weeks?
You can do it for 2 weeks, or because you know the dividends are going to be coming through, you can set it for longer. It's up to you.
Do the 3 months. Let's have a look at the last note here. Cool. Do you normally compare it to there too?
Depending on what I'm doing, to be honest, I think I'm very random with my dates. So if I need a more immediate action, like a follow-up on an LOA, I will set it for 2
Yeah.
weeks, maybe 1 week. For anything like dividends, I do set it out 1, 2, 3 months. You'll find with a lot of the bankruptcy ones as well, when you ask for an update, they will say that it's going to be lodged in, and sometimes it's, if we're in January now, they may say that it's not going to be lodged till March.
Yeah.
So you might push it out till the end of April, because by the time they lodge it, and then by the time it actually goes through AFSA and it gets approved or it gets declined, and when we receive more confirmation, it's going to take a little while.
Okay, notes are done.
I'm glad that you realised all about the patterns and everything. And now we're just going to leave you to practice a few of these.
Sure.
So over the next few days as well, I'm going to leave this queue alone.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you to do it. You know that nothing in this queue is absolute attention, but it is always fun to get them done out of the way. If you
Yeah.
want to leave it to the end of the day, that's fine. I'm going to leave it completely up to you. And I sit right over there.
Yeah.
You're
No, I
always
mean,
gonna
I do
ask
feel a lot more confident after you showed me that, so that's good.
It is. So
Yeah.
I think this was one of the last bits
Yeah.
that you really need to be shown.
Yeah.
And
Definitely,
it is probably the most boring.
You wouldn't say, would you? But no, it was pretty good. Makes sense.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I'll probably be just as good as you soon. Don't worry.
You're already on your way? That's
I'm
great.
getting there slowly.
Yeah.
Master's apprentice, huh?
Well, it's all good. And that's the end of the session. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's just pretty good.
Alright. So you think we're going to be good tomorrow?
I will.
Yay!
Yay.
Alright. Ending session.
Sweet.
Now here is turning off the recording.